All right, we're live. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I have Mr. Buff here with me from Keystone History Hoarders. He was a familiar face there. Tuning in, everyone. Got Sean Keller, my new co-host from Berks County Metal Detecting. And our special guest, Steph from STEFDigs. I can't pronounce your last name, I don't think, so I was going to let you do that.
Okay, that's Tangway.
Tangway, that's it. Steph Tangway.
For whatever reason, it seemed to be a struggle for literally everyone's show that I have been on, so you're not alone.
Hey, how's it going, Digging Dad?
Hey, Corey, what's up?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, Steph. I know I had the opportunity to finally meet you 2019 up at Pound the Ground.
Shazy. You can't pronounce it either. I know that you're avoiding it. Shazy or Shazy?
Shazy, New York.
Shazy. Yeah, we'll go with that.
There was, what was it, over 1,000 metal detectors set?
There were 1,500, I think.
Oh, 1,500. Wow.
Yeah, ridiculous. So,
that was crazy.
I didn't find jack. I found more this time with Dig Stock up there because they opened up some different fields.
Okay.
They did all right.
Was it in the same area?
It was the exact same site, but they opened up different fields. So.
Oh, cool.
Because I remember we got there for Pound the Ground, and we thought we were gonna have over 1,000 acres, but I guess like maybe some of them weren't tilled yet and weren't harvested. I don't remember exactly, but it was a fun weekend though. The meet and greet was a blast, getting that shut down in I don't know, an hour or something. Because there were 20 people there. That was fun.
I think all I got on the natural hunt was a pewter civilian button.
Really? Yeah. No, I didn't. I think I got a mangled like 1900s spoon, a potential hammerstone, which I ended up throwing out because it's put it back in nature because it's not a hammerstone.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. But I only dug about 10 holes on that first visit up to Shazy. I just like
talking and
yeah, I got talking to Quarter Hoarder for a while. You know how much Jason
yeah.
I know everybody knows that we love Jason. And so yeah, that was my Saturday afternoon, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Sunday was that day with all the wind, and I remember I was in the Garrett van with Gypsy, Carlotta, and Nicola, and we were just avoiding the wind. It's when all the tents were blowing away. We had the same thing happen this year too, basically.
Oh yeah.
The Garrett tent blew away. And then everyone at Mind Lab was trying to grab the Garrett tent. I wasn't there for that, but yeah, kind of funny.
Hey, Charles. Digging with Squeak said she tried to send the stickers, but they got returned for some reason. So we just letting you know. She said that.
All right, thank you. I'll reach out to her. Your channel's really growing.
It is. It's a little slower lately than it has been. But God, 3,200 subs in a couple of years. I mean, I'll take it. I didn't expect it to actually blow up. I was always, when I first launched it, this is a good story. And I told you I'm a good guest because I can talk a lot. So here we go. So our good friends Jocelyn and Drew, obviously I know you're friends with them too. I went to their house for the 4th of July in 2019, and that's the day I was going to upload my first video. I'd already planned it. And a couple days before we go up, Joss messages me and she said, "Hey, Wizard is coming." I said, "No." She said, "Yeah," and I freaked out. No, I met Aqua. For those of you who don't know, that's Aqua Chigger's nickname, at least to Joss and Drew, because he is a wizard. And so it was really cool. It was a really just intimate party with just more food than you could possibly need for an army, and to be there at Jocelyn's house, after watching her on YouTube for a couple of years and then becoming really good friends with her, She actually helped me upload my first video, and then for Chig to come the same day, who was my inspiration to begin with to start metal detecting,
Yeah.
was one of the best experiences I've had in terms of just the metal detecting community. That was a really, really special day for me.
That's
And she
awesome.
got me started, because she shared my first video on the Crazy Lamp Lady channel. And so, yeah, she was very helpful in that. I miss her very much because we haven't been able to talk too much. It's been really busy for them with their incredible business. So, hope to see them
Yeah.
again soon someday. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I've actually gotten, closer to Drew over the years, from all the events and
Yeah.
I go down.
I love Drew. I mean, he is a straight shooter, and you don't know it until you talk to him, but he's one of the smartest people you'll ever meet. And obviously, if you know him as you do, you know that. He knows like everything about everything. To me, this is funny. I was watching I just felt like marathoning Pawn Stars last night.
Oh yeah.
And don't even tell me that Drew is not Rick. They were the same person. I'm convinced. Because
Oh, like
Rick is
personality-wise.
and they know everything about everything,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, that is totally Drew 100%." But yeah, I'll still call him if I need he's actually one of the first people I call if I need an opinion
Yeah.
in terms of an industry confidant.
Yeah.
He's really just stable guy. So stable
Yeah.
minded sounds weird, but no, he's a good guy and always very good judge of character. So for those of us that he really enjoys spending time with and helping out, he does everything he can, which is much appreciated.
Yeah. We made him our group's featured dealer and everything, and
Yeah, I
you know,
saw that. I'm
not,
like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole,
yeah,
Drew.
yeah. It's nothing against anyone else. It just keeps things a little simpler.
For sure. Yeah, I actually I became the group dealer of Northeast Dirt Diggers.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Mitchell's group, and I see a lot of potential happening with that group because I like the interaction level that's happening. So I don't think we've even hit 1,000 members yet, but I think, much like Keystone, I think it's going to be a really good level of interaction. To me, it reminds me of kind of like a baby Awesome Relics New England.
Yeah.
I got into that group when we had maybe 700 or 800 members 4 or 5
Yeah.
years ago, and now it's 3 or 4,000. I can't remember, but another
Wow.
high engagement group, and those are the groups that really tend to do well in terms of just supporting each other. Number one, first and foremost, and then also naturally sales. Will
Yeah.
come from that because you have a trust in the group admins and people who are associated with the group.
Yeah. Hey Sean, you guys, who all's in the chat there? Do you want to say? We got Chris in there.
Yeah, we got
We all
Chris
know
from the
Chris
ground
Altman.
up. From the ground up. Yeah, we got
He has that sign behind me. Yeah, Bourbon Street.
we got Delaware Diggers,
Or
Delaware
French.
County Diggers. Alan
Yep.
Hendricks. What's up, buddy? We
How's
got
it going, bud?
Digging Dad. Digging with Dad.
Digging Dad.
We got TB in here.
TV's back.
And Digging with Squeak.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. I'll just shoot. I'm gonna shoot this up on the screen real quick. If anyone that's here is not familiar, this is Steph's YouTube channel. She has some awesome videos. So head on over there and show some love.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just watching one of your videos there. You love the woods, obviously.
I really, really do. And I don't get out in the. Here's the thing with having a YouTube channel. I used to exclusively hunt the woods when I had first started out, maybe the first 1 to even 2 years, because I really got serious about it in 2017. And then I launched my channel. The reason I launched my channel on the 4th of July 2019 is because that was 2 years to the day that I was hooked, because I found my first really awesome colonial relic on July 4th, 2017, which was a 1690 to 1720 shoe buckle frame.
Wow.
And so, I said, well, what better of a day to release the channel than 4th of July? Because the first 6 videos are actually hunting a Continental Army barrack that was also the prison site of Burgoyne's army after they lost at Saratoga. So if that doesn't give you chills, the more I think back on it, the more I appreciate it. I didn't have the same appreciation at the time, but in any case, I digress. Crap, where was I going? That happens to me all the time.
I know. I do that same thing. I'm like in the middle of a conversation. I'm like, hold on a minute. Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, on that note, when did you start detecting, and what detector did you start with?
Well, the first detector I ever owned was a Garrett Ace 250. Bought that in September of 2016, according to Amazon. And because I really wanted to find out one day recently. I'm like, when the hell was that?
Yeah.
Very quickly upgraded to the 400 because I heard, I was watching the Hoover Boys and STEFDiggers at the time, and that was a very both of those channels at the time were very Garrett heavy. So I'm like, all right, well, I want to see these numbers that they're talking about. So that's why I upgraded to the 400, and that's what I found that early Colonial shoe buckle with. But shortly after that, Garrett AT Max, and then like 6 months after that, the Equinox, and haven't jumped off board of that train since.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep.
You guys have any questions for Steph?
What detector do you use now?
The Equinox.
Oh, the Equinox.
Yeah, and I've got to learn. A dear friend of mine who will remain nameless because I asked them, "Can I share that you sent this to me?" And they said, "No, I'd rather you didn't." Sent me their used CTX. So I know that was the most generous thing that's ever come in the mail. Obviously, and, even though it's well used, what's great about the CTX 3030 is it's a parts machine. You can reorder pretty much anything that goes with that machine, and obviously you can always send it to Mine Lab for servicing, which you should if you hunt saltwater with that machine. You absolutely should. For anybody who hunts saltwater, you should always get your machine serviced by the manufacturer like once a year. In any case, I barely touched it yet. I kind of plugged in a program that I thought might be all right, and I'm just kind of intimidated by it because the oh, now I remember what I was going to say earlier. When you're running low on footage, or you have less than like 4 weeks of footage, you kind of get see a little bit. So
Right.
what I was going to say earlier is, I love the woods. That's my favorite place to be. But the problem is the finds are sparse. So I'll have to go out, 3 times for 6 to 8 hour hunts to be able to get a 20-minute video. Whereas if I go to a yard or a cornfield or something like that, I might just have to go out one day to get one video.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that with the CTXs. It's like, now I've got a good backlog of maybe 5 or 6 weeks, but the thing is, there's a foot of snow on the ground. There's that, maybe I'll try it at the beach over the winter or something. I'm not a beach person, but
Yeah.
I guess I should try it before I knock it.
Chris has a question for you. He asked if Steph finished her article for his book yet.
No. He's halfway joking, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, guys, we just got done with volume 2, so
Yeah.
time. Chris knows to pop it out real quick too, because when I wrote an article on Victorian mourning practices for, it was kind of an oddball article because it was about like a haunting experience that I had had. I know it sounds crazy, but like a haunting experience I'd had after I dug up an 1840s mourning brooch.
Wow.
I got to also then expound on what I had learned about Victorian mourning practices from, making a video on that. In fact, I think it was the longest cut in I ever did on a video, which was like 10 minutes or something, which doesn't sound like much, but if you are a content creator, you get it. That's a lot of work. So, in any case, I did a 3-page article on that, but I work well under pressure, meaning I procrastinate like whoa. So one day he's like, "Hey, you have that ready?" And I said, "Give me a minute." And I got it to him in a couple hours, and he said, "Oh my God, this is basically perfect." That's awesome. So, I'll be putting another article in volume 3, which I'm really, really excited about. And yeah.
That's
that was
cool.
one of the highlights of 2021 for sure, is being published in a book for the first time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love to write, and I don't really do it very often. I mean, you see my flowery kinds of posts on Facebook and stuff, but that's really the only place that I actually end up writing. Yeah,
Yeah.
to me that doesn't exactly count. So,
Are you? Yeah, you're gonna be in Chris's profile, but
oh yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, and when he posted that, I said, "I'm not even gonna bother messaging him to say that I'll do it because I know he's gonna message me to ask, and just gonna be like, yeah, I
Yeah.
knew you would."
I think I'm gonna be in there with you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a writer, but I'll see what I can get together.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Let's see here. How many people we have here? 13. All right. You want to attempt to give a sticker away?
Sure. I don't know how you guys are doing the giveaways. What are we doing?
What I'm gonna
Yeah.
what I'm gonna attempt to do is I will copy all the participants' name into a speedboat race, and so I'll put my email in the chat here for the winners to email me their mailing address, and then I will get it out to Sean and Steph, because Steph, you're gonna give logo stickers out.
For
And
sure.
Sean's also going to give some logo stickers out. And then we're going to give away 2 little silver dimes for you at some point in the show. What's up, Peggy? Is Peggy in here? There she is, my sister. So that's Nanny Diggs there, Peggy Schaefer.
What's up,
So
Nanny Diggs?
she's in our group too. She likes to stay behind the scenes though. Let me see.
You're digging it just popped in. You're digging it metal detecting. How you doing?
Oh, awesome. That's Brian. You know him. All right, let me see if I can actually do this now. So while I'm messing around with this, if you guys want to ask Steph a question, go for it. I'm gonna take a little bit of time to do this, I think. So.
What do you think your favorite find is of all? One of your most favorite finds?
Oh, it's always a fun question.
Yes.
So the best find I ever made just came up. Is it 2 weeks ago now? Almost 2 weeks ago now. Which I'll get to in a second. But before that, it was I have a really nice kettle point. I have one of them is particularly amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's this big and just like a blue-green color. It's what I use for my bullet points in my videos at the end when I ask people to comment, subscribe, like all that kind of stuff. And I do use it in the banner of all of my videos. So actually in the intro of my videos too. I know people don't watch video intros, but if you do, it's there. I really love that piece. It was unexpected. I was digging like 16, 17 signals all day, and then that one was just a bit deeper and just a bit more solid on one number. And I said, screw it. What else am I doing? And it just like flew out of the hole. It was awesome. My Spanish real spill, 2 real and 2 halves. It was amazing. My George Washington inaugural button. I have a really nice silver washed infantry officers button from the War of 1812. I'm just kind of looking for them actually. A couple of Fujios last year, and they were back to back. It was interesting. My first one was January 15th or 18th. I can't remember. And I did a really crappy job of cleaning it. I was impatient, and that's a no-no. And I just wished, just hoped that I would get another one. And 6 weeks later, I did, which is actually that's a good.
Wow, you're
that's
killing
a
it
good
out
segue
there.
into that one photo I sent you, that selfie.
Yeah, after we do this,
that just came because that happened to come up. In fact, I may have sent him my kettle point too. So those are
yeah.
After we do mine, I'd like to find one.
After we do this giveaway, if you don't mind, I'm going to share some of your finds that you sent me, and we can kind of talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
So
but I've been very fortunate for sure over the last few years in particular.
Let's see if I can share this here. And if you see, I believe they have to be actively chatting to be a participant. So we'll go through the, I'll go through the names. Let me know if I missed anyone. Alan Hedricks, take you out. I'll take you out of here, Sean.
Yeah, I don't need to be in there.
I got Chris from the ground up. From the ground up. He's getting 2 lines, it looks like. So I'll go from the ground up. Delaware County Diggers. Digging with Squeak, Digging Dad, Jersey Ray Diggs, TB, and you're digging it. Did we miss anyone? That's in the chat.
I think that's it. I mean, I'm not sure. I can't see everybody. Everybody that commented, I believe.
All right. So I'm going to put our email in the comments, and whoever wins, please email me your mailing address. Don't put it into the chat, and we will get a hold of you.
Yes, right. Chris, there are 2 children in the background.
All right, we're going to give us a whirl here. You got, yeah, Alan's kids. Future diggers of the world.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a little
I've been hearing them and wondering who they're coming from.
What is going on?
I got a babysitter tonight, so.
The last loud noise was Mama knocking a choo-choo on the floor.
And let's see. Since I keep getting I got a question from Rachel about what I'm drinking. I love my twisted tea. And what was it?
Twisted teas.
Yeah, and then Diggin' Dad. I just want to address this because he's asked twice now and I have not responded because we didn't get to it. Steph, did you have an aha moment that made your channel better for your subscribers? To be honest with you, I kid you not really. I was just, pretty consistent about uploads, very real with people. If I had kind of a so hunt, I would post it anyway. Yeah, not much I can really say about that. I think I really got lucky with with Jocelyn helping me out at first. She got me about 400 subscribers the first day she shared my video.
Wow.
And, which I thank her for immensely because she doesn't generally do shout outs and had told me since 2018, I'm going to do it when you launch a channel. So that's just what happened. But no, it just, we got on a really good site, the first, half dozen videos. So we gained a lot of subs from that. And, just, yeah. So no real aha moment. I wish I could help you out with that, but just good sites, good people. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think I actually talked to Jocelyn and Drew at some point when I started YouTube, and they said just be yourself. Go out there and be yourself.
That's the biggest thing is let yourself come through too. Like don't over edit yourself. Don't think twice. Every time I've had to talk with a script because I'm trying to explain something historically, it doesn't come out as natural. My sense of humor doesn't come through. And I think people generally like my sense of humor, my quirkiness, and I feel like that's when I actually get more subs, is when I'm just being myself and being ridiculous or whatever.
Oh yeah. Hey Alan. Chris said, "I'll get your kids in volume 20." All right, let's do this race here for 1 logo sticker. Actually, you're gonna get three logo stickers. You're gonna get a STEFDigs sticker, Berks County metal detecting sticker, and you have one near you, Steph, or no?
I do not, but it's my
It's your logo for YouTube. All right.
Yes, thank you. That's what it is.
All right, here we go for stickers. pausing.
How did they do this? The button like
I don't know
over.
why it's doing that.
I don't.
All right, no music.
But like, how does it work? Do they just have to hit a button over and over?
What, the boats?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think they
go over a finish line.
I
don't know why the music's skipping on it. They probably have one of them old CD players on the boat. No.
Well, yeah, it's bouncing up and down. Of course, it's going to skip. That is how you know you're over 30. Because
Digging Dad's in the lead. Uh-oh.
Oh, who's pulled up?
Delaware County Diggers coming up the back. Oh.
Whoa.
Delaware County Diggers. Awesome.
Jason just like from behind. What the heck was that?
All right.
Rachel, you got second place. And
congratulations.
TV in third. All right. Jason, get a hold of me somehow and we'll send you those stickers out. We lost Alan. Oh, here he is.
There we go. There we go.
Good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, we did lose him. Okay. Yeah, because there he is. Okay.
I went to do something and it kicked me out. I don't know.
No, you shouldn't have gone to do something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not. I went to tell. I was texting Charles because the boy was being loud and crazy, so I was making sure I was muted. I have something here though that she should know what it is, because I know what it is because of one of her videos. I don't know how well you can see it.
Steph is like my go-to person too.
Yeah, what is that?
What is it?
It's.
Ooh, is that what I think it is?
Doesn't that look familiar?
I think she knows what it is.
Yep, it's a wafer stamp. So those were popular. Now, I don't know if you guys who watch my channel, if you went to the Townsend's video that I had linked in the description below of where I found that one. But wafer seals, I guess, for wafer stamps, wafer seals, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, were abundantly popular right at the turn of the 19th century because they were a lot less messy than wax. But there's still an etiquette to it, which is interesting. You don't want to send a letter in the mail using a wafer because, if it's for a formal occasion, because what you actually would do is stick it under your tongue, put it under the fold of paper, which is actually your letter, and then stamp it with that seal that Alan was just showing us. And so you don't want to send that in a formal manner. That's when you still want to use wax. But you generally would want to keep the cost of postage down. So if you could send letters in that way to your family and close friends and such, that was the preferred method to do it, and it was just a lot easier than wax. But I freaked out when I found that. Completely freaked out. I thought it was solid gold when I found it.
It has a little bit of gilt in the back of it yet.
Yeah,
I can't.
That was
probably can't tell, but.
I mean, I would assume that there is. I can't see it, and I'll bet you that there was an intaglio on the other side, because mine's missing as well. It's just hollow on the other side. So it would have been an intaglio, or possibly a carnelian or an onyx would have been historically accurate. So I'm thinking of getting mine restored at some point with a carnelian. It's one of my favorite stones anyway. And Nancy from, which is it? IDME, has been a jeweler for like 35 to 40 years, and I know if I can find the right stone, she will fix it for me, or if I can't, that she'll just do it up for me. So at some point I'll get it restored, but as of right now, I just like displaying it the way it is. So
yeah. All right, if you don't mind, I'm gonna try to share some of your finds here.
Yep, go for it.
All right. Do you want to just kind of tell everyone what this is?
Yep. So that is a, I was talking earlier about the first half dozen videos on my channel, which was, again, I'll explain it. It was This is really interesting that the place wasn't hit before, number one. This was up in Massachusetts, and there's a plaque on the outer wall of the property which states that it was, Continental Army barracks, but also during the Revolutionary War, obviously, but also it was the place where some Hessians and also Burgoyne's defeated army were imprisoned. Now, Burgoyne's army had just lost a battle at Saratoga, which was a huge turning point in the war. And this is actually a British Marines neck stock buckle. And the way that it was identified was because the leather is still attached and it's about a quarter-inch thick. Or not a quarter-inch thick, maybe an eighth of an inch thick. Very thick leather, because the whole idea is that clasp, I'm showing the front and back. There would have been a male side, which I didn't find. And then this is the female side.
Right.
Attached in the back and then tapered up about 5 or 6 inches to hold your head really up high, and there would have just been leather there. So the whole idea was to protect the necks of the British from the cutlass blades of pirates on the open seas.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. And
That
that
is
was
awesome.
pretty much just on the ground, and the thing is, it was like a part of the property was just basically mud because that's where they kept their horses. And in fact, one time, one of the horses scared the crap out of my friend Dave Wise. I had to yell
Yeah.
because the horses were very friendly, and one of them just went galloping up and neighing to Dave, and I'm like, Dave! And he must have jumped a foot in the air. It was so funny. So for the fact that that's been trampled on for God knows how long, well, we do know how long, actually. That's 250 years, pretty much exactly.
Yeah.
Just incredible that it survived. So I preserved that with some vegetable oil.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Awesome. Especially if there's leather attached to it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it more with every coming year because now I really understand the magnitude of that find. That saw action in Saratoga. I mean, that's not the provenance of that find is something that's just, it's not like anything else I have. It really is. I know exactly where that was, when it was, and that's why it's in the intro of my videos as well, because it was such a historically significant find. I really love that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Is that the inkwell?
I'm waiting for the delay to come up on the YouTube. Yes, that is a lead inkwell, and it looks like either IC or DC that's carved into it. And this is very typical of 18th century inkwells. Evidently, people would carve their initials into it. I didn't know what it was at the time. I thought it was like a battery core or something, for all I know. Excuse me. And I filmed it, and I put it in one of the pockets of my pouch rather than an actual finds case, because it is rather large anyway. And then when I got home, I really realized it was a lead pewter composite, and the coolest thing about cleaning it out was that dried up ink was coming out of the bottom. That's just those are the kinds of things that just keep me going.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a relic hunter and not a treasure hunter, because that's the kind of stuff that I think differentiates relic hunters to treasure hunters, is that I get goosebumps over that, and I don't know that a treasure hunter would. So
yeah,
just one of my personal favorite finds. I actually have a quill in it right now.
Wow, that's awesome.
But it's too far away to show you, and I don't feel like getting home.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't get up. Just relax. All right. Go to the next one. I don't know if you can see it yet.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So that is the kettle point that I was referring to before. And it really is those colors. In fact, looking at it closely, I didn't send you the Instagram version. That's the actual raw photo of that kettle point. It's like a purpley blue green color. That was probably a few hours restoring that. And the only thing I did was I just took a toothpick to pop off the dried off dirt after a few days of letting it dry completely. Kettle points, like the unwritten rule is that you're not supposed to touch them at all. Right. Which will bring us to another find down the line when we're looking at them. But so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's just, it really is a magnificent piece. It's one of the best examples I've ever seen, and I'm so honored that it's in my collection, that I found it, that I swung over it. So
yeah,
I mean, it's 1600s all day long. So that's right after I don't know if you would consider a woodland period. It's the beginning of modern history, basically. It's the contact period. So that's what took over, from stone points, because this was a lot easier and more efficient for Native Americans to craft out of, the kettles that the Dutch in particular brought over. And I just that made my day when I found it. I'm looking at it right now. It's up on a shelf that's
Wow.
the living room with some of my best finds, and probably will remain one of my best finds forever.
Yeah. These are, I mean, they're on my bucket list for sure,
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if these were concentrated to certain areas or if, I mean, I'm in Pennsylvania, so I mean,
Well, most typically, we find some in Connecticut, but it's not superly duperly. It's not abundant in Connecticut. Okay, if you go to like upstate New York, you might get on an early trade site. Like, for example, Brad from Green Mountain Metal Detecting. We all watch
yeah.
him. If you don't, you're living under a rock and you need to check him out. Well, remember the trade site that he went to? I mean, one of his friends was like, "Oh yeah, this is a regular day," and they dug like a dozen kettle points and tube feeds and stuff. But what's interesting now is just I've really kind of made it my area of study, the Native American, fur trade relics. And you would be amazed how much kettle brass you actually dig up without even realizing it.
Oh
It kind
wow.
of has like a pink undertone and a really greenish bluish patina to it. So over time, you kind of know it when you find it. And I've just been collecting it, and it's stuff that would most certainly end up in the garbage for most people. But for me, it's just another treasure to add to my trade display that I'm building, kind
Yeah.
of.
It makes me want to. So I have buckets and buckets and buckets of my scrap metal that I'm saving because, like Drew told me, he goes, in the summertime I plan on setting up my sifter box
Yeah.
and kind of, he said, lay it all out, take the hose and clean it up.
Yep.
And I'm actually kind of excited to see if anything really good comes out of there that I thought maybe would have been trash or scrap. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do is like, if you don't have time to look at it that day, screw it. Throw it in a box, throw it in a drawer, whatever. Because for right now, I mean, like I said, we've got like a foot of snow on the ground. This is a great time to go through finds. I don't know what
yeah.
you guys have down there, but it's coming if it hasn't already come.
Yeah.
What did that ring up as, Steph? I'm just curious.
17.
Is that like a nickel?
It's higher than a nickel. That's about between that's a pull tab, musket ball kind of area, shotgun shell, anywhere in that arena. So it's one of those, who the hell knows what this is? And when you're in the woods,
Oops, sorry.
Everything.
So we'll do one more of your finds and then we'll give another sticker out. How about that?
That sounds good.
Oh man.
Oh
Woo!
wow. Look at that.
I'm waiting to see it myself.
I can see it.
Oh yeah, that's my spill. That's a fun story. So, I found the 2 real. This was actually, I remember it was March 16th because I literally have it, the dates in my display. March 16th, 2019. It was the first day of a really good thaw in Connecticut, in the middle of winter, end of winter rather. And I remember it was a Saturday. And I'm thinking to myself, because I'm a competitive person, I said, I gotta get something good to post on Facebook. I gotta get something good for my collection. And I had stopped at a tree. I was just leaning against it and vaping. Don't vape, it's bad for you. Yeah.
I do not approve this message.
I really don't. And I leaned against a tree and I texted Nicola and I said in all caps, I have got to find something. And I swung about 15 feet away and I got a 2930 signal about 8 inches down. That's how it was reading anyway. And I still have I didn't send it, but I have a photo of the coin ball because I just saw the edge. And I really wasn't sure what it was. For some reason, I thought it might be a seeded quarter. Let's just say I was really pleasantly surprised. So basically, I looked at that, freaked out, filmed their recovery of it, put it up on Facebook, got like 7,000 or 8,000 views or something silly because I was freaking out and crying.
Yeah.
And I left. And then when I posted it, I kind of had one of those posts where I blow up Facebook because I'm really good at doing that. And Howard Hewitt commented on one of the photos, so it wasn't like the primary post, but it was one of the, the front or back photo, whatever. And he said, "Did you recheck the hole?" And I hadn't responded yet, and he said, "Well, did you?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, no, I like I always recheck the hole." So I didn't recheck it that day, but I went back in March 26th. So, you know what? I'm going to expand this story. I don't think I've publicly broadcasted this story before, but so Nicola also metal detects. I was like indisposed that day. I couldn't go out detecting. And I said, I had filmed exactly where I was. I had put a stone on top of where I had, or at least right next to where I had found the 2 real because I wanted to go back, a few days later and detect it, but I didn't have time until about 10 days later. She had time before I did. And I said, "I'm calling that spot because if there's another signal in the hole, it's fine." And I did not ever explain this on Facebook, but I think enough time has passed because this is, I can't believe I'm actually explaining this whole story. But so sure as anything, I get a call or 2 calls in a row, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And she's like, "You missed it. There's another one. It was like right on top of the dirt." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I told you not to swing over there. What the heck are you doing?" So I go and I'm like, I think I was visiting my parents that day. I was like, "Guys, I have to go. My dad's like, "Stop freaking out." I said, "You don't understand. This is the find of a lifetime. This is like put you on the map kind of find," which is exactly what it did. It's exactly what it did. Because I don't think anyone knew me from a hole in the wall until I found this, and then the post went viral. The video kind of went viral for Facebook standards, anyway.
Right.
I raced home. She was kind enough to put the coin back on top. I'm like, "Gee whiz, you shouldn't have,"
Yeah.
But then, she said she told me there's another signal down there, though I won't touch it. And it was the same signal as a 22. So, and as I was trying to film the dig, I noticed on her phone she had pictures of the half real that she dug, like on her knee and stuff. So this last year, a couple of years later, I decided I gave her the one of the half reals, the 1773 that she dug. Even though it's totally not hers, and I totally called it and said that was all mine. I just said, if anything ever happens to us, it's mine. And number 1, and number 2. For any hobby shows, I have to bring it. But I've never explained this in full because when I made the Facebook post about it, like after I had gone back and rechecked the hole and realized I screwed up royally, Nicola alerted me that I screwed up royally, and I kind of already knew I had. I didn't want to explain the whole litany of it because I also didn't want to have the debate of, well, who does that coin belong to? Well, it belongs to me. It was still my find, but I thought, that meant a lot to her. So I just said, it can live in your office.
Yeah.
I'll borrow
That's awesome.
a hobby show. So you guys have the exclusive story, and I think you are the only ones to hear that so far.
Wow.
I've told a couple of friends, but not many people.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was so funny though, because I have screen grabs of those text messages saying, "Do not, if you swing over and hear anything, it's mine." It's like all I did was kick the dirt away. It was right there. How did you miss that? So yeah, that's a good story, and it was a crazy find, unbelievable find.
I know. Go ahead, Sean.
Does that make you wonder how many stuff you missed in the past by not
swinging?
Oh,
yes. I'm terrified. So now I always feel like, unless I'm in a farm field, for one of my extremely exciting finds, which I did send to Charles, so it'll show up on the screen soon enough. I didn't recheck the hole, but that's because I found it in a farm field. You're not going to find a spill in a cornfield. It doesn't really happen, especially when it's shallow. So, yeah. But that's the story of the Real spill. The full story of the Real spill is absolutely ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I always think someone's just not going to believe it because it's such a ridiculous story. And thankfully, I have a good reputation, so everybody has.
Well, I mean, if it was your first dig, then we might,
Yeah, then you end up in a special place on Facebook, and we won't discuss that. No, if you know, you know.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Mike from Great Finds.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Buddy Mike.
Yeah.
I think he said he dug a 17. What was it? Where's he at? He said I pulled a 1794 capped Liberty at the Real Farm.
Oh.
The Real Farm is one of our permissions that Mr. Buff got for us. And speaking of Reals, real quick, we call it the Real Farm because when Alan got the permission, he called me up and he goes, "Hey, do you want to go out there and test the site?" And I'm not sure of the acreage. What is it, Alan? Like 100 and some acres?
Something like that.
So that day I said, "Yeah, let's go test it out." It's one of them farms where there's a really long stone driveway and then it goes back to the house. And so we drive down the lane and we just randomly pull over. And that was the day, it was my third signal, I dug the pistarine.
I don't have a pistarine yet. You know what? Hold that thought. You guys talk amongst yourselves, figure out which one you want to bring up. I should not have had a twisted tea when I came on here because I really have to rest.
You're good.
So I will. You know what I'll do is I'll put my dog on screen so you guys can all marvel at how absolutely adorable he is.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
I'll do the second sticker giveaway too, so take your time.
Awesome. Okay, so this is Oscar. Hopefully he's showing up on the screen right now.
Oscar, where you at, bud? Oh, yeah.
Here.
There we go.
He's a Frenchie. And he's also black, so he's hard to see. But I will be right back, you guys.
All right. Is there any new? You want to let me know if there's new? We got to get Great Finds in here, right?
Yeah, just the swinging. I'm not sure if he was in either. Mud SWAT.
We got Mud SWAT.
Yeah, Mud SWAT was in there. I mean, I'm not sure if you added him. Greg Pats.
SWAT. Greg?
Yeah, Greg Pats.
EATS.
Yep. Z instead of
B.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys see anybody else?
Do you have Maine in there? Maine.
Oh, Greg. Oh, we got Mike.
Mike Shear.
Mike SCHERER.
Yeah.
Just a swinging. We gotta get in there.
Do you have Maine in there? Maine Dirts.
Main Dirts.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Maine Dirt. Sheepall or Sweepall.
I'm gonna try to. Oh, okay. Main Dirt Sweepers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what is that. I need my glasses.
Don't send me to the spelling bee. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go good.
Yeah, I'm horrible at it. Trust me.
That's why I found metal detecting because I couldn't spell.
So the real story.
Well, these new phones really play hell with spelling because you get so used to the phone spelling stuff for you that you forget.
I think we have everybody in now. No.
Yeah, no, so I guess he misses you guys already.
You have TB in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Where's at Gmail?
Yeah, I had a story like that too recently. I went and dug a Indian.
Yeah, we got.
And I rechecked it, and then there was 5 other coins in the hole. So you just you always got to recheck, you know.
All right, let me go through these names. I got.
Because we would say with STEFDiggers, that's why you check.
Yeah.
I got Alan, Hedricks, Chris from the ground up, Delaware County Diggers, digging with Squeak, Digging Dad, Jersey Ray Diggs, TB, You're Digging It, Great Finds, Mud SWAT, Greg Pats, or is that right? Greg Pats or
yeah,
we know. Mike, I can't pronounce the last name. Just a swinging, Main Dirt Sweepers.
Alan Hendricks in there too. I don't know if he's in here. I think
he's at the top.
Yep. Okay. Good. Yep. I think that's everybody.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
There's a Digger X in there too. Did you get him?
Oh, okay. He won last time. He's not allowed to. No.
No. I seen a comment up there from him.
All righty.
That should be it.
For some stickers. And again, we are going to be giving away 2 silver dimes.
Also, you need an E on the end of main.
I do. Oh, oops.
Because I don't know if it's going to include them or not.
Edit.
Although, you guys, I'm talking to main dirt sweepers. You could go by main just without the E. And then you could be the main dirt sweepers.
Ah,
there are possibilities. I was crap at coming up with my YouTube channel name. It works now, though, because I want to get into artifact hunting this year really bad. Really bad. I don't know if any of you watch those channels.
Steph.
Yes.
Steph, I'm with you. I've been trying to educate myself before I go out, but I'm so intrigued with the Native Americans.
Me too. And if you watch some, I like Clegg's Adventures. He's really sweet. I like that guy.
Yeah.
He does a lot of creek hunting, or not creek hunting. I think it's on the edge of a lake where he normally goes. That's his honey hole. And then Heartbreaker Relics is kind of like the Hoover Boys of artifact hunting. They dig a lot of pits, and it's really educational as to how they go about it and stuff. So that's what I've been watching recently, because I got my first point recently, which was a true arrowhead.
Yeah.
Awesome. Versus like Atlatl or something like that. I'm impressed with how to pronounce that. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Atlatl. That is, I'm actually watching a show. I was actually watching a show right now where the ice is melting and they're getting artifacts, and the Atlatl was one of them that was in that. All right. Ready to roll?
Rock and roll.
I don't know if the music's going to skip again, but here we go.
Of course, they're on a boat ride.
Oh, I think it's supposed to skip.
Children.
We got Digger X coming.
You're not watching, but we could cut you. You might.
Awesome. Digging with Squeak.
Nice. Congratulations.
Jers, Rachel in second, Mike in third.
Turbo boost activated, she said.
Someone said they ran out of gas. All right, we're back to STEFDigs finds that she sent to share. So we're going to the next one here.
Kind of a random.
I see a chicken on there.
Do you? I don't see anything yet. I see my reaction.
That's a plain flat button.
It almost was. So I dug this at my favorite permission in town. These people are the nicest people. They're like the ones that you just want to know. They're the ones you want to run into if you're knocking on doors. They're in their 70s. I think they're both 78. They don't look it. They act about 48. And I had always driven by their house, and they have these massive fields, which are actually hay fields now. And in truth, I was using the Simplex that day, and I just remember I got this really weird long sounding. This is before I was with Mind Lab, so. I was using the Equinox, but kind of wanted to try the Simplex too at the time. Now I'm on Mind Lab. But in any case, so I got this signal. It was a 54 and it was loud and it sounded really long, kind of like, most single frequency machines will fool you if it's a strap hinge or something like that. And sure enough, there was another piece of brass right next to it, a few inches higher in the ground. And thank God I went for the other end of the signal because I saw that it was. I get excited when I start filming, or when I dig. So
Yeah.
when I know content creators get this, like Chuck, you get this. So like all of you get this. So when you see something in the hole that looks like it might be tasty, you just kind of pick it up, and that's what I did. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put it back, and so I didn't see anything on it. I knew it was a dandy button, but I remember picking it up and saying like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a dandy button." And then I was rubbing off the front of it, and I'm like, "The hell out of here!" Like, no. Yeah, no, it can't be. And it was, it was just. I had Roland Frodig look at this, who does restorations. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of him, and he wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because he said it has fire damage. I can't fix something that has no detail to show. This is after I used a brass brush. Before I used one, you could barely see anything. You couldn't even see the star over the eagle. You couldn't really see much of the shield or the wings or anything. And since this photo, I've actually straightened it out, which I know sounds terrifying, but I have straightened out enough dandy buttons. I've actually completely unrolled a dandy button. Which I wish I hadn't done because I've heard that they can be used as like spouts for pouring gunpowder into a gun or a trade bead or whatever. But for ha-has, I felt like unrolling one completely, so I annealed it, by lighting it with a torch and dropping it in ice water and stuff. So by the time I got to this, I'm like, oh, well, that's no big thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, definitely one of my best finds. And just 2 weeks prior to that, I had learned that my 6th great grandfather was like George Washington's half nephew or some weird thing like that. And not only that, he fought at Yorktown, Brandywine, and I can't remember the other one right. Cowpens. So
Wow.
Cowpens, Brandywine, Yorktown. He was injured at Yorktown, but he was practically. I mean, he was a relative of GW and George. GW. I'm looking at my GW Dubs. So, and then the day after I dug it, I called my mom and she said, we're related to George Washington, right? And I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm thinking of like my 6th great grandfather, William Ilett Booth. And it's just, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And the thing is too, like right before I had dug that button, I had watched maybe 2 or 3 documentaries, and some of them being long, like 6 or 7 parts on George Washington and who he was, in the 1750s, fighting for the British, and then eventually, fighting for us and becoming our first president of the United States, not Continental Congress, but president of the United States. And I felt like the reason I dug it after that is because I had to appreciate him a little bit more before I was like allowed to dig that.
Yeah.
Sounds
It
weird,
it almost seems like you have this like energy with you, like, because a lot of these finds you were almost in a way like connected to the find before you found it. It seems like.
That's an interesting way of putting it. Actually, recently on this past week's video, which I didn't elaborate on because for whatever reason my editing software was being very slow when I was trying to do my cut-ins. For those of you who watch the channel regularly, I do my intro, my outro, I do cut-ins in the middle. I try to address the audience because I really like chatting with everybody who's kind of a community member. I don't even want to call them a follower, but like a community member of STEFDigs.
Yeah.
And with the last video, the second half of the video was a short hunt, and I had just gone out with my friend Laura, and she spent, God bless her, she spent hours the night before pinning cellar holes, and we couldn't get to them because they were waterlogged. So I said, you know what, screw it. We're together now. Let's, drive around and find some town land, because we were in Massachusetts. Very different laws in Massachusetts than Connecticut. You can't hunt state land in Mass without getting your butt whooped.
Yeah.
It's a big no-no. But town land you can. And there
Yeah.
was this 1 acre of town land about a couple miles away from where we're going to go. I said, pull over. She's like, are you serious? I said, yeah, pull over. And within 15 minutes, I found like a complete shoe buckle.
Wow.
It's like I smelled it. But yeah, just some of this stuff I always say, like, we dig what we're meant to dig.
Yeah.
And it's so strange. I mean, because when I used to, Lou is not Lucky Lou, everybody knows him, is not as super duper active as he was a couple of years ago when we were digging together, which is unfortunate. But he would dig stuff up right behind me that I had just swung over, like, and it's weird because it's not like I'm a crap detectorist. I'm finding good stuff. It's just
Yeah.
for whatever reason, he was meant to dig it and I wasn't.
Right.
And so I get a little bit esoteric and weird about that, but
Yeah.
I do believe it that some things you are just meant to dig and some things you're not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The place where I dug the creme de la creme, Chuck can save it for last if he wants to. Chuck, I know you know exactly which find I'm talking about. You have to. If you don't, you don't know coin rarity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That one, like 20 or 30 people have hunted that place for over 20 years. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But it was mine.
I do have to interrupt. Let me just quick say something. I have to go because I have a babysitter tonight. But I'm gonna let you know. It was nice meeting you, Steph.
Sure. Nice meeting you too, man.
I'm gonna give away this then when you guys do the next giveaway. It's a Mercury dime, silver Mercury dime.
Thank you, Sean.
1942, and I'll throw in another set of stickers with them. Let's do.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. Thanks for being here.
See you later. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Take care, buddy.
Yep. See ya.
Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Can you see the private chat stuff at all?
Let's see.
Just want to make sure I have that one right, because I'll show that last.
Yep, you got it right.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next one here. Ooh. Okay, you can't see it yet.
I can't. Almost. Yeah, it's a good one. So
man, I'll tell you what, I don't even know if we're halfway through. We got to do a part 2 now.
Well, you know what? Screw it. Then I'm vaping. I'm not promoting this, but I am vaping.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that was found at the very end of 2020. It was a 7 on the Equinox, and I don't want to hear from anyone that you guys don't skip. Not necessarily those of you I'm talking to right now in the interview, but I mean you guys in the chat. Don't tell me you don't skip over 7 signals, because I know you're lying. This was a 7 in the woods, though, because when you're in the woods, you kind of have to dig everything.
Yeah.
And so I got the signal, and it was right after I dug a Barber $50, so I couldn't have given out what the hell I found the rest of the day. I found a random $50, like 2 inches in the ground in the middle of the woods. It was awesome. So I dug this, and it came out, and I thought it was like Stuart Crystal or something. Sprayed it off and saw that ship, and I've never seen anything so intricate.
Intricate. Sorry.
That's the word we're looking for.
There it is.
Intricate underneath a piece of glass in my life. So evidently it's some kind of clay.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how they made it. Somebody tried to explain it to me, but at the same time, they were kind of being a super duper know-it-all.
Yeah,
and not listening to anybody else who, people like that.
We're familiar with those people, so.
Yeah, we all are. So, but you know, it was stuff people that it doesn't mean they didn't know what they were talking about, but I had never heard from them before. You know, people like if Bill Dancy chimed in because we're friends on Facebook, you know, I would listen to him. It was a couple of people I had never spoken with before, um, chiming in on it, so I was a little reluctant to understand or believe what they were saying about it. But yeah, evidently, that's not normal. That is a very rare piece. So I wish I had found the whole set, but I mean, you can see how small that canvas is when you realize that's a toothpick that it's on.
Yeah.
It's so, and it was very scratched up. The suggestion, which I had already kind of thought of, but I talked to Nancy, my jeweler friend, from ID about what I should do, and she said, "You know what? Just put some clear nail polish on it, and if it doesn't turn out well, you know, we can buff it down or whatever." And that's with the nail polish on it. It worked pretty well because every time it dried up when I was in the field,
Yeah.
in the woods. In the field, we always say that when we just mean we're out detecting in the field, you know, in the woods. When it had started drying up when I was filming it, I noticed all these micro scratches all over the place. So had to have had quite the life, but I love the way it looks now. I may get it buffed down at some point.
That's
You know
awesome.
how they do that if they do it with a Dremel or whatever they do. I don't want to witness it happening. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's one of my best finds. It's my best teeny tiny find of that
Right.
set.
All right. We got 5 more until we reach the
Oh
cream of
yeah,
the
let's
crop.
plow. We should plow through
We'll,
a little
we'll
bit.
get the
All right,
plow on, and we're gonna.
there you guys. I gotta jump off and put the little one to bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching, but I guess if you just want to
Hold
throw
on
me
a
in
second.
there.
I don't know what's going on here. Huh.
Oh, they all went away.
Yeah. Here we go. Hold on. We're getting it back. Okay.
Yeah, and Alicia's jonesing to watch the Eagles, so
Yeah. So am
I
I.
so I'm gonna. So if you want to throw me in backstage or whatever. Oh, my phone's about to die apparently too. So
All right, buddy. See ya.
Your
I'll
sign.
see you.
Bye.
Nice meeting you, Steph.
Hey, you too. So yeah,
Yeah. These
that's
are your Fugios, right?
that's number 2, and that's exactly when I found it. I'm wearing a Fujio shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this was the first.
So that was the second one that I found.
Oh, the second one. Wow.
Yep.
That's
And I don't
amazing.
I don't
That's what I'm saying. Like everything that I'm seeing now that you're talking about these finds, you have some sort of connection. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
think.
"What the hell is this about? Are you kidding?" Like, I just started laughing. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me. This Fujio." I mean, I've worn that Fujio shirt since I started detecting. It does not fit properly at all. It's got
Right.
sun bleached, you know, shoulders on it. I mean, they're like pink practically. You can't see it in the photo because I'm wearing a backpack, but I felt like wearing that shirt that day, and like, sure as anything, I can't believe it finally worked
That's
to wear me a
awesome.
Fujio. It's just, it's
I
nuts.
gotta. I guess I gotta get a T-shirt with some gold coins on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only time it's worked so far, so don't get too excited, but,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I feel like it's brought me some other good luck finds too. I can't think of what at the moment because I never remember what the heck I was wearing and anything. I don't
Yeah.
film myself when I'm in the field, you know, because I just get sweaty and gross and typically not wearing makeup and don't have my hair done, hence the
Yeah.
sunglasses and hat.
Yeah.
But, you know, but that photo was just priceless because I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me."
Yeah.
You know, so,
Yeah. It's awesome.
yeah, there she be.
Here you go. What's this here?
That's well, I don't know if you're ahead of me or not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, you're not supposed to clean kettle points. This is what I was gonna get back to. This I thought was an unfinished kettle point in the field because it was completely caked in dirt. But I kind of noticed some pattern around the edge, and I said, okay, well, this is something odd. That night I could not sleep. So about 4 in the morning, I come downstairs to the living room with that and a toothpick. And I started just working it along the sides, you know, perpendicular, being very careful. And I started noticing some shine coming through as I was like popping the dirt off the edges. And I was like, what the hell is this? It's not a kettle point? You gotta be kidding me. What is this crap? You
Yeah.
know? And I was like, well, screw it. I'll just go to town and I'm not going to tell anybody what I did to clean it because it's just revolting. Very abrasive. And
Like an angle grinder or something.
steel wool. And a polishing cloth. But it needed to be done though, because that, I mean, you can see how much tarnish is still on it, even after using those methods. So,
Yeah.
because at that point I figured, well, screw it, maybe it's a piece of, junk anyway. It was looking like tin. But then when I shined it up, I mean, you can see the reflection of my phone in that. I mean, you can't see that it's a phone, but you can see that dark shadow. That's my phone.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
reflection.
yeah.
So it's clearly broken because there was kind of a Templar cross where it's sharp on that bottom right side, and it's broken in half. So somebody had said that it was, maybe it was a patch box cover to a musket, and it's razor thin, absolutely
Yeah.
razor thin. I mean, it's not. So
So,
we've determined Native American
yeah. So you
trade
said,
safe.
yeah, trade silver.
Yeah.
So you thought it was a kettle point, or is that kind of the same?
I thought it was a kettle point because I mean, it literally looked brass on both sides. That's how caked on it was.
Oh, okay.
And those touch marks all along the edge are really reminiscent of French touch marks that you'll see on the sides of trade axes.
Okay.
So, I mean, I still could be wrong, but I just don't think I am. It's one of those things like when you said I have a connection to my finds. I don't need anybody to tell me that's Native American. I know that it is. I
Yeah,
can
right.
feel like there's a vibe to it. If you want to get esoteric about it, like, there's a vibe to it. And I found it maybe 50 feet away from a copper Spanish cob.
Yeah,
So, I
wow.
mean, that's got some age to it. Now, what I've still struggled with finding out, and if anybody in the chat knows this, email me at STEFDigs@gmail.com. I need help on this. It's applied silver on kettle brass. I don't know when we started applying silver to brass. I can't find that information anywhere. It would be extremely helpful in dating it. Could be 18th century, but I was thinking 17th. So,
Yeah.
it looks almost medieval. I mean, it's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
it's one of my top shelf finds.
Digging with Squeak asked, why shouldn't you clean a kettle point? I missed it.
Okay, so kettle points, generally speaking, because, and I think this maybe has to do with the fact that we're in America, right? So when you're in the UK, you're in Europe, and you're digging stuff that's 1,000+ years old. I think my theory is this: is that people become a lot more comfortable digging, or excuse me, cleaning stuff that's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years old, and we're not quite used to that, so we kinda say, "I don't know what to do. Let's stick it in a coin flip or let's stick it in a display." Personally, um, you know, a lot of it I think is also due to the rarity. I mean, you don't wanna shine something up either. That's another thing, you still want it to look like an antique, but my kettle point that was shown earlier, obviously, I didn't shine it up with a Dremel or anything, I just removed the dirt, so it's a
Yeah.
balancing act of remaining, safe with your cleaning practices, but also knowing what you're doing. And I think that when you get into New England and we're finding stuff that's just post medieval, it really has a different type of patina and it has a very different characteristic on the surface than stuff from the 18th or 19th century. So, for example, something like this or a kettle point is much more difficult to clean. I mean, the fact that I got this in my hands instead of somebody else is actually fortunate because I have what my friend calls Stephitis, which means I can't leave it the hell alone. Whenever I get a find, I either like I have to clean it, and every so often I destroy something, unfortunately. But I just have to know. It's the desire to know what's underneath the crud, and in this case, it was a good thing that I went for it. So,
You
but
coming?
yeah,
You back in, Buff?
huh?
Oh, Alan.
Oh, there, yeah, there he is.
You coming back in or?
No, you can. No, I was just looking. I was just reading comments and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you can let me out. I'll send a message in the private chat or something if.
All right.
Just trying to pop my ears here. I'm getting off of being a cold and having a cold. So I'm not
Yeah.
yawning, I promise. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Very So we have this and this one quick.
Oh yeah, that's that Wafer Seal. So that's like what we were looking at earlier.
Is this a watch winder?
Yeah, it's also a watch winder, which I haven't seen too many of those, and it still swivels. The attachment at the top still swivels. It just doesn't have the intaglio on the other side because it's got space for one. It's missing. We went back and sifted it because that day, it was in July that I found it. So that's like thunderstorm season. Clouds were rolling in. I was starting to get rained on, so I said, "All right, screw it. I'm gonna have to come back another day and re-excavate." Excuse me. And we couldn't find it. I brought my sifter and the intaglio, but I mean, it was so cram packed with dirt that I didn't think we were gonna find it anyway. But I would have kicked myself if we hadn't tried.
Right.
They were building a development at that spot too. It was still listed as town land, but they were starting to build a development, so I knew I had to get in and get in as quickly as I could and get out. So
that's an awesome piece.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's that's one of my favorite finds ever. I feel like I say that about a lot of things, but I specifically wanted to find a wax seal matrix, and that's close. So, this was a really cool find. I have found plenty of complete shoe buckle frames, even complete knee buckle, but I had never found a complete shoe buckle with all the guts.
Right.
And this is the first one I ever found. This was a 12 or 13 signal, about 10 inches down in a cornfield, which is, I think, what saved it. I don't think the blades go that low or something.
Right.
That deep, rather. And so I was expecting, a Tom back button, right? And this freaking thing pops out. I'm like, no. And then later on when I got home, I saw, that because it's tinned brass, I saw the GW when I got home, and that just made it that much cooler.
And does that have any significance as far as GW? I mean,
no, because he wasn't even born yet. He was born in 1732, right? I think 32. So this is 1690 to 1720. So that's
okay. So it'd be before.
Yeah, I found a couple of similar example. Actually, one dead-on same example in the Portable Antiquities Scheme database. So it's from England. Yeah, 16. Well, I think they listed it as 1660 to 1720, but
that's awesome.
According to my buckle books, it's more like 1690 to 1720. But still, I mean, it's tiny too. It's like an inch and a quarter or an inch and a half across. But they weren't meant to be a fashion statement back then. They were utilitarian strictly. So
right. Yeah, you're the reason I got the buckle book. You recommended it when I was.
It's a good one. It's a great little reference. It's not too expensive, and it's something that's in everyone's collection. And this piece, this was my favorite real that I dug this year. I dug 3 this year, which was really nice.
Wow.
But this was my 1804 altered half real, and this was an interesting subject for debate because it's got 9 notches all around the edge. They look like they were cut with a knife. And I had people telling me, oh, those are chop marks or whatever. And I don't think this is going to show up on camera properly, but I'm going to try.
Right.
I got this for Christmas. It's an 8 real with chop marks on it. So
let me try to. I guess I can. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you can kind of see it. Yeah.
Let me give you a full screen here, quick. Wow.
So you can see that there's little marks, around his neck, and
that's it. Oh, is that an 8 real? You said
it's an 8. Yeah.
Wow, that thing.
So you can see that there are marks on there. You can't see exactly what they are. However, those are chop marks. So evidently that had a lot to do with going from port to port. So from port to port, they know that you're not, I guess, moving counterfeit across, and that's how they checked to make sure that it was indeed silver. There was some in the back as well. You can't really, I don't think you're going to really be able to see it. Minimal chop marks, but some of them are just littered with chop marks.
Wow.
In any case, so this was, like I said, a way to validate that it was definitely silver. And so some people said that, well, maybe those cuts on the edge are chop marks. I said, no, you're never going to do that with it. That's not how chop marks work. They were always in the face at the reverse of the coin, not on the edge. And then somebody else said it was, I mean, it's a half real. We're not making fractionals out of this. Now, quarter reals did circulate, but wasn't the typical. So, someone said, "Oh, maybe they're chopping it up for change." I said, "That's not possible either." So the only conclusion that I ever drew from this is that somebody was just bored, or
Right.
and I love that. I found that over the summer
Yeah. Yeah,
in one
that's
of the bigger
awesome.
conditions. It's gorgeous. It's in like perfect condition. Yeah, I love that one.
Now, now
I
I've
wish
heard
it were an 8 real so I could really appreciate it.
I've
Yeah.
heard these come up like a 39 on the Knox or something like that.
8 reals, I beeped it. The moment I unwrapped it, Nick's like, "All right, we gotta try that on the metal detector." It was like a 36, 37.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, recently, and
Perfect.
it'll come up in a video, I dug a very big silver coin, not as big as an 8 real, not as big as a Morgan, and it rang up a 37 to 40. So it depends on your ground conditions too,
Wow.
'cause it
Yeah.
shouldn't ring up that high. But yeah, no, an 8 real is around 37. I mean, if you watch, the Hooper Boys episode where Brad digs an 8 real out of the, through at one of their water sites, it was like a 37. So,
Wow.
you know. Yeah. Well, it's kinda like
That's
how,
awesome.
a 2 real is almost the size of a half dollar, but it only rings up like a clad quarter. It's 29.30. So, that
Awesome. Ready for the big one?
yeah, let's go.
All right, everyone. This is Steph's last picture that she sent me.
It's my last find of 2021. I tried to,
Last find of
clear.
2021. Oops. There we go.
I'm waiting to see it on my end. There we go. Almost.
Whew.
So yeah. So I know it's slicked out, and some people are like, "What's the big friggin' deal?" It's a draped bust half dime.
Yes.
To give anyone an idea of that, that is the okay. Draped bust silver overall is rarer than finding a tree coin. We see, I don't know, check it. What do you think? Like maybe half a dozen tree coins a year in the community.
Like the pine trees shilling.
Yeah, pine tree or oak tree, any kind of tree coinage we
Yeah,
see.
I'd say that's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in terms of draped bust silver, we see a couple. There's a reason for that. In fact, I'd heard a statistic at one point that now this is 1800, but in the late 1700s, so I guess around the same time,
Yeah.
there were more people in the United States than draped bust silver coins. So chew on that. The draped bust half dime, draped bust silver is exceedingly rare to begin with. The draped bust half dime is the rarest denomination by a long shot, and only 179,000 pieces struck throughout
Wow.
all years, across all years. And the 1800 has a couple of varieties. It has the Liberty variety or the Libecti, excuse me, because the R is broken. That's not the variety I have. You can see that there is a cud underneath the 2 zeros of mine, so it's an LM one variety. So that's one of 24,000. That's ridiculous. I completely freaked out. Uh, so oh yeah, Buckeye Digger. Yeah, yep. No, he dug in 1801. I don't remember your actual name, but I remember you're blowing up my post. You made me look bad, man. No, he dug a really nice 1801 Drake bust dime that day, and then followed it up with a seated. And I'm like, you're killing me. I don't care though. I'm going home.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats on that, man. That was awesome. It's a little better
That's
shape than mine, unfortunately. But
no,
evidently, very few gradable examples of the half dime exist because I mean, in this one, you could see where it's really kind of just like muddied over the 8. No, you don't have to be sorry about that, Buckeye. I'm just messing with you. That was so funny that you dug it like 20 minutes after I did
yeah.
because the moment well, actually no, because I dug. Okay, so I posted mine around 3 in the afternoon. I don't know exactly when you dug yours, but I posted mine like 3 in the afternoon. I dug mine right around noon. But whatever, we dug it within 2 hours of each other, and that's uncanny. The two of us dug Drake Bust Silver the same day. That's
Yeah.
rare than two people digging like tree coins the same day. So
That's
it's a
awesome.
fun experience to share. But yeah, the half dime is just like impossible to find, evidently, which I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah.
And but anyway, what I was getting to is you can see that it's really blurry right over the 8 and where the 1 should be. And then where the of in United States of America, that's really slicked.
Right.
This was in a terminal, the die was in a terminal state at this point. So to begin with, it would not have had really great details. So just the fact that I, have a flip and drape bust half dime is unbelievable, and you better believe it doesn't leave my sight.
Jeez.
Not that you
Yeah.
can actually see anything because it's in this flip and it's in, like it's really not in good condition. It's like a fair condition.
Right.
But like we've talked about before, I've been keeping this on my nightstand at night on a coin easel, and
Wow.
it's it's crazy. I can't believe it. It's probably the least valuable 1800 halftime in existence, but I don't care
Right.
because what I kind of like about it, I love the hole. Like Squeak is just saying, love that it's
Yeah.
hold. I love that it's hold because this meant something to somebody, or they really kept it on their person,
Yeah.
and we're trying not to lose it desperately, and they did. And it was a screaming 19 signal, only a few inches on the ground. And
Right.
when I say people have hunted this place forever, I mean forever. Like my friend and I just got permission, maybe a couple of months ago. And the farmer said, I don't know if you're really going to find anything because there's like, 20, 30 people that have been here. There've been a bunch of groups here. I doubt
Yeah.
you're going to find anything. And to swing over that, it was a quiet farm. It was a very quiet field.
What did this ring up?
At
This one.
19.
19. Like a
Screaming.
lead bullet.
Yeah. So imagine my surprise when it wasn't like a bale seal or something like that. I expected, a musket ball or a bale seal. But I think over time, especially with the Equinox, you kind of learn what sounds round and what sounds suspiciously like coin versus lead.
Right.
And this, it had a brightness to it, but I didn't, I've started filming my signal, or excuse me, my signals a little bit more, but usually only if it cracks like 21, 22, when you know that it really might be a coin.
Yeah.
I didn't film the signal, but there's like 4 or 5 clips that I did film because I realized, okay, I have a half real, I think, because it rang up a 19. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, I don't see any pillars. I'm not sure. I'll come back. And then off camera, I saw the STAT on the reverse because it was actually frozen to like the top of the clump.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh my god." So I started filming again. I said, "Guys, I've got something really special." And I thought that maybe it was part of the wreath on like a seated halftime.
Right.
And then it was just slicked out. And I said, "Looks like a zinkin." Oh, the signal. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Like a
Brian,
zinc.
I thought he was insulting my coin for a minute. Brian's not though. But
Brian. No.
But yeah,
Brian's
no,
awesome.
we haven't found a lot of modern stuff in that field. Though the most modern stuff I've found are like Mercs. So we haven't found a lot of modern stuff.
Yeah.
But they haven't used it in a while either for for farming, I guess. So in any case, yeah, it was
That's
very much
awesome.
unexpected, very unexpected. And the 11th hour of 2021, that morning I got up, and it's a joint permission I have with my good friend Patrick, and he has to go out between like 6 and 10 in the morning, just you know uh, s- schedule constraints basically. So I met him for 6. We were digging by 6:30, and he left maybe 45 minutes before I dug this. I'm just like, oh my god, why did Patrick have to leave? I mean, the video is going to be priceless. It's going to have a warning for adult language because
Yeah.
I'm not bleeping anything out.
No bleepers.
I'm not bleeping. I mean, this is something that I can't. I can't bleep it out. It's too crazy.
That's
So it's
amazing.
the biggest freak out I've ever had. The GW doesn't even hold a candle to it. I never thought I would dig it. And oh, this is what I was going to say. So it's December 27th. I woke up with a sore throat, and kind of, a sniffle that day. You can hear that I'm still coming off of a cold.
Yeah.
And it's not COVID. I've gotten tested 3 times. So at least there's that. But I had started, like not really feeling that great that morning. And after I dug the halftime, I was kind of, I was making personal, typing personal messages to people, making personal calls, because it's kind of like what you would imagine if you find like the Holy Grail, the tree coin, which
Right.
this is even more of a Grail coin because it's rarer, but some people don't, know that. But it's like, I'm making my personal calls and stuff, and I didn't even post it till 3 hours after I found it. And by the time I got home, I totally felt like crap. And I had said in my video, I said, "Screw it, this is my last signal of the year because I'm turning off my machine." The last
Yeah.
2 years, the year before, it was like a Tomback button was my last find. The year before that was a clad dime with a hole that filled up with water that was 12 inches deep. So I said, you know what? Nope, this is it. And I guess I sort of jinxed myself in a way because, yeah, I didn't dig anything else the rest of the year. I was sick as a dog.
Yeah.
But you can't go out on a higher note than that. I don't know how I'm going to top that this year. I don't think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for some that might not know, I mean, we have a lot of experienced people here, but the whole location kind of helps you figure out what it was maybe used for.
Yeah.
And some were fashioned into buttons and stuff like that. But usually when it's a hole like this, it was maybe worn around a necklace or something like that, or
It could be.
chain.
I mean, the thing is, it's a weird orientation. So I had, a friend and I were talking about this actually from the field because I texted my good friend Laura. I sent her screen grabs pictures of it. She didn't know what the hell it was, so she called me because I forgot to tell her what it was. And um, she's like, "Well, why the orientation of the hole is bothering me? It's bothering my OCD. Why do you think that they hold it on the side?" I said, "Well, if it was an American, I think that it was because nobody wanted to puncture the word liberty. We were a very
Right.
proud nation. We had just, what is it, 17 years before that,
Yeah.
19 years technically, we had just become a nation. We were very proud and we were full of grit and pride in what we did. And why would you want to puncture liberty?" So that was kind of my theory. And she's like, "Oh, I like that." I said, "I like it too. We're going to go with that." Um, Now, Captain Fizz, a lot of people know who he is. He's like he's got to be God. If I say 90 something and I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel bad. But he's a very well known diver, treasure hunter.
Yeah.
He actually, he friended me on Facebook a couple years ago, and I'm like,
Oh,
me?
wow.
Same with
Is it?
Dr. Lori from the Curse of Oak Island. I'm like, what the hell are these high profile people doing friending me? It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when you take a step back and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
What did I do to deserve you guys? So anyway, Carl messages or comments on my post and he's like, evidently, and we have found some trade relics out here, early trade, like kettle points and stuff. Uh, he said, evidently, when a Native American would do a good job at something, if they were an indentured servant or slave or whatever, they might receive a silver coin as kind of a trinket that they could wear. So that might make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, it's always going to be a mystery, but all I know is that I can't believe I found it. It wasn't for reference on my realistic bucket list. I have colonial gold. Doesn't have to be a coin. It can be a relic, and any kind of tree coinage. The Drake bust silver was not on my realistic bucket list.
Right.
So
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, pretty much all the finds that you shared with us tonight are still on my bucket list. But I remember when I was fairly new, I remember even saying to you, like, I want to dig a shoe buckle, and it was years and years went by and I never even dug a broken frame. And
yeah,
then I think last year I got 2 frames. They weren't complete, but for me, I felt like I dug one, like it was
yeah,
amazing.
no. I mean, if you take a frame, as far as I'm concerned, it's as good as digging the whole thing because that was the fashion statement. But for me, I was just like, all right, I've got enough frames, but like, why can't I get over a complete shoe buckle? I live in Connecticut. Come on.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Drake bust silver though still takes it. I mean, that just takes the cake. I can't believe I found that thing.
That's awesome.
And I can't wait for the video. It's gonna be a special one. It's gonna be directed completely different from my usual videos. So
I can't wait to see that.
yeah, that'll be February if I can wait that long.
Yeah.
I gotta try. I've got like 5 or 6 videos in the pipeline and a foot of snow on the ground, so I'm gonna try to keep it, that long.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna give away these last giveaway here.
Sounds
Just
good.
giving away 2 little silver dimes, just as an appreciation for being here and hanging out with us and staying until the end.
Yeah.
Let me go through and see if I'm just keeping everyone in that joined us at some point. I got to put, I think, Buckeye in there.
Mud Swat says, "Wait till you find one in better condition."
Buckeye.
Knowing me though, it might happen because I don't. Here's the thing: I don't find like quantity. I find quality in like ridiculous stuff. So he might be right. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Got Vern. I'm just gonna put just shorter names in here, and hopefully we have everyone. Got Beep Beep in here. Treasure hunting with Beep Beep. All right. I think we have everyone. If you guys, I'm gonna go through here. If anyone in the chat doesn't see their name, please just let me know. Alan Hedricks, Chris from the Ground Up, Delaware County Diggers, Digging with Squeak, Digging Dad, Jersey Ray Diggs, TB, You're Digging It, GR8 Fonz, Mud Swat, Greg Pats, Mike Sure, Maine with an E, Dirt Sweepers, Digger X, Teresa the Treasure Hunter, Buckeye, Vern, and Beep Beep. I think we're good. Digging Dad in there. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna give away a silver Rosie. Just gonna give away a silver Rosie on this one, and then I'll do another one with everyone in it again for the silver Merc, and you'll get a logo sticker with them too. Show. I feel like this one needs better background music. It's like skip to it. All right, good luck, everyone. Oh, it's skip. I thought it was skipping, but it just like stops. Mud Swat and Beep Beep up in the front. Who's in the back? You're Digging It, Buckeye. Someone's going to shoot up.
It seems to be what happens with this.
Sometimes, yeah.
All of a sudden, someone just goes zoom. And now everyone's backing up. Well, at least according to the YouTube delay.
Just a whoa! Just a swinging. Congratulations.
Oh wow, yeah. No, I'm seeing. I told you there's like a 15-20 second delay. I'm helping. I'm helping you through this StreamYard thing that we're using. So there's a delay, and you got to mute one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just a swinging won the silver Mercury dime. Congratulations. All right, we'll do the last one for the silver Mercury dime, and then we will say our farewells. Good luck, everybody. Put the pedal to the metal. Oh yeah, they don't have pedals; they're boats.
See, I've never driven a boat, so I wouldn't know.
It's like a hand throttle.
Oh, well. I'm probably safer not being behind the wheel of a boat. Very clumsy. Very accident prone.
Yeah.
Like the fact I haven't broken an ankle stepping over a rock wall amazes me. Really.
I used to fish a lot, so I spent a lot of time in boats and stuff.
Yeah, not me. I wish, but unfortunately, no.
I need a boat driver. Who's gonna win the Mercury dime? We all like silver, right?
But yep. I dug a lot of mercs last year. I mean, I don't dig a lot of silver.
Mike! Mike from Great Finds got himself a silver Mercury dime.
You keep giving me spoilers because of that delay.
Oh. That's like me and like my like football games. Like I like to watch the game. So like sometimes I'm out and people are like yelling the score, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Well,
All right, congratulations to all the winners, and some of you are going to get some awesome stickers. Appreciate everyone tuning in with us, and this thing flowed amazing with the conversations we had. We obviously went way over an hour, so appreciate you guys.
I told you that happens when I'm on the show. That's my live stream shtick is like, if you're gonna have Steph on a show, I know I'm not gonna call myself in the third person. If you ever have me on a show, you can expect it's at least going to go 30 to 45 minutes over.
Yeah.
But it keeps it going, so you never have to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we could have sat and talked for hours on this stuff, but I really, really appreciate you taking time out of your day and to be here with us. And I've always, you know, I mean, you've been detecting probably longer than I have, and you know, I've always reached out to you for things. You know, I look up to you as far as the education and knowledge that you've acquired over all the years, and you know, there's certain people that I have like in my arsenal, and you're definitely there. And you know, you've helped me just figure things out and learn things. I appreciate that.
Always happy to help. Always happy to help. You know, you can message me anytime. It's what I do. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, it's just I've been a total nerd about this hobby and read a lot about it and the relics we dig, and I've been blessed to dig some of the weirdest stuff that comes out of the ground, and I think that's what's taught me so much because I just trip across a lot in my studies when I'm trying to figure out my finds.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
yeah, it's amazing that how much you learn, you know, every time you dig something up that you're just not familiar with. It's just amazing. It just amazes me, you know. It's
that's why
incredible.
it's so important. Like, even if someone thinks that they have a boring find, or I had something that looked like a door latch one time. Well, guess what? It was like a Civil War sword hanger, Confederate, in Connecticut. It makes no sense, but I knew it was something that just seemed kind of reminiscent of a J hook. Stuff like that. Over time, you start making connections, and it starts getting easier to research stuff. And I know there's a small group of people out there that think that I pull things completely out of my butt, but I don't. I do a lot of research, and
Oh yeah.
if everyone would do the same, they would be amazed at the finds that they dig. It's
Yeah.
like how people throw out kettle points without even knowing it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it definitely shows you know, like I said, I reach out to you, you know, when I, you know, have a question, or if I've been figuring things out more with research and stuff, but I really appreciate it. I'm going to just show your channel on the way out here.
sure.
Anyone in the chat hasn't seen Steph's channel, I encourage you to head on over there, give her a subscribe, like, and I mean, she just gets on incredible things, as you can see in this video. And I'm always peanut butter and jealous, but
Yes.
I did it.
I always forget that. I always want to say it, and I keep forgetting it. Peanut butter and jealous. Made me crack up the first time that he said it.
And she's a detector.
I did remember to say that in a comment one time back to you. I think you dug something and I was peanut butter and jealous about.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell it was, but I was happy to be able to use it. Oh.
Well, I really appreciate it again. I hope you have a great night, and I hope you dig somehow beat that drape there this year.
It'll be tough, but so far it's like 1 year is better than the next. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got that lucky, but persistence pays off always.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you later. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks
and
for
good luck out there.
Hey, you too. Good luck,
Later.
everybody.